Hi, my name is Owen Llewellyn. I got involved a few years ago when I came back from Berlin in fighting for nature and trying to understand why nature was collapsing in my country to one of the worst levels in Europe. And I didn't believe it was possible. I thought, no, there has to be plans in place from Europe that set out for countries how they protect nature in their area, not only in the national parks, but in how towns and villages are developed and how you have an interconnected plan for nature. And it turns out there is plans. They're called the SEA, which is a Strategic Environmental Assessment, and there's SEAs for everything. The problem is our country is corrupt. Our country does not implement SEAs. There's an SEA for Dalgony and Greystones. It has not been implemented as it should be. But one of the key things I was focusing on was the expansion of Glen Downs, and behind me here is Glen Downs there in the background. You can see it there. Yeah, there's Sugarloaf, and then the beautiful Glen Downs is here. So if you I'm going to turn the camera around and then we can look at the areas here. So here we have the Little Sugarloaf, Kinelstown Wood. The ancient name is Coolagad. Over here is the Sugarloaf. And as the Sugarloaf comes down this side here, you have two ancient cairns, which could be a king and a queen cairn. They can be seen from all parts of Dublin, from Howth, from Clontarf. You can see these two cairns barely there on the ridge as it comes down the far side. Then as you come over, you can see a little valley depressed down here. That is Glen Downs. And this is Calafgabera. That's Downs Hill, the ancient anointing hill of kings of this area, going back to the Coola tribe or even earlier. And the tribes that come out of the Coola are the Kinsella, the Kavanagh and the Byrne clan. So the plan that I have tried to present for the area to Caoilte, to Pippahacket, to Malcolm Noonan, was to expand Glen Downs up along this side of the mountain and up into here. We gradually decommission all of the Caoilte woods on the hill here, and that gradually becomes native wood, growing a brand new large-scale national park that comes off the ancient primeval wood of Glen Downs. Glen Downs is extremely rare. This is a wood that goes potentially back to the 1500s and then goes earlier. So it could be one of the oldest woods in Ireland, and this is called primeval wood. The land on this side here in the 80s has Sitka spruce on it. We own the land just above the golf course. The people own the land, and Caoilte sold it to a private person who then put Sitka spruce plantations on it. You know, that was another act of violence against nature by our government departments, that instead of us expanding this really important national park and reserve, we sold out the land that connected to it for plantations. At the present time, Kinelstown Wood is here, and planting is taking place in that, and I hope that through talking with the manager for Caoilte in Wicklow, that this has only native wood going back in. This is considered a hill fort. If you look at the great work of Yasmin Fortune, she's done amazing work on the history of this area. And the only reason I know about it is because of Yasmin Fortune's excellent work. Yasmin and her family live up there. They're in the old Latouche estate. And her history work is incredible. So if you look her up, Yasmin Fortune Glen Downs, you'll find her website. It is so important that we create connectivity for nature. It's so important that we create evapotranspiration, which is the ability of the land to cool itself, to release mist and water that cools it down. I'm going to turn. Right now as we speak, Spain is going through an incredible heat wave. 34 degrees. It should be 20 degrees. It's 34 degrees. This is 14 degrees over the normal. That is unheard of in science, to have that much of a difference in temperature. What this means is the water table is presently collapsing in Spain. Many of the fruit, the vegetables and the different things you get from there, they will no longer come because Spain will have to enter into a protectionist mode within its food policy in order just to feed its own people. Why does the Glen and the Downs matter in relation to that? The word I mentioned earlier on, evapotranspiration, is an essential aspect of how our planet works. Large-scale woods such as the Amazon, such as the Congo forest, etc., they release massive amounts of moisture that then forms as clouds above these forests and falls back down again, creating rain, hence rainforests. These rainforests then have the contributing effect of creating large amounts of oxygen, absorbing huge amounts of CO2, but also cooling the air and creating precipitation in the air, not only within their regions, but in regions that are really far away from them. At the present time, the Congo's been taken out, the Brazilian Amazon rainforest has been taken out, so that cool belt that goes around just below the equator, that's fed by all these rainforests, that's going to begin to collapse. Every effort that we make as citizens in our back gardens, in our front gardens, in terms of trying to save a future for our children is important, no matter how small it is. But we all must make efforts to see large-scale change. I've tried to present to Pippa Hackett. I've tried to get the information to Malcolm Noonan. Both offices, in general, refuse to take that information on board. Pippa Hackett at the present time has the Millennium Forest project. She has Project Woodland. These projects are supposed to look at large-scale, transformative projects for nature and our country. But we have to step our game up even higher. It has to be that we're looking at water security, insect security, interconnectivity for all mammal and species to go from up throughout our national parks in Ireland. A central belt in Ireland that is a wild area, such as I think it's called the Aughrim Wood, which is the incredible work of the Woodlands League, who I really support and what they want to do. We must have these central areas. Farmers have to step back away from this and understand it's like we have to save you from yourself. You guys are not looking at how bad this is. Dairy is wiping out all our rivers and streams.